Hi, and welcome to the NFL Fan Forum. My name is Art, aka the Sea Cow, and this is my sidekick John, aka the Cowlick.
What's up?
Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be discussing the Week 10 games for the Broncos and Seahawks. But first, our play of the day.
Lock. Got it complete. To the end zone. Touchdown, Judy.
What a tough loss for the Broncos last weekend in Atlanta. The team just didn't seem to be in sync for most of the game. Still, they almost came back to tie the score and possibly send it into overtime. So what can the team learn from this game?
A lot. First of all, Drew Lock cannot throw any interceptions, and whenever he usually does, it leads to touchdowns, and that leads to our defense being out there more often than it should be. That's not good. So Drew Lock, he needs to get better at throwing better and make better decisions instead of going deep and then that causes an interception. He just needs to make those first downs, just throw short passes that lead to first downs. He needs to make good decisions, not just risky decisions. So that leads to interceptions. So if he can improve on that, we'll have a good game against the Raiders.
Well, it's Raiders week for Broncos fans. It's also the first time for the team going to Vegas and playing in the new stadium. What do you think of the new facility?
Awesome. We get to face there once every year, and I'm looking forward to it because the stadium looks very, very nice. And it's a dome, and Drew Lock likes playing in domes for some reason, because I guess he gets more air and there's less wind and weather, so that's a plus. So I like the new stadium. It'll add to Drew Lock's advantage to win this game, and I think it's going to be a good game in this new stadium.
Quarterback Drew Lock did seem to be playing better lately. Can you keep it up against the Raiders, D?
Yes, he can. But he has the talent to do it, but it's just that he needs to not throw any interceptions. This is also a team you don't want to throw any picks on because they're probably going to run it in for a pick six or have a really good drive to score a touchdown. So you cannot make any mistakes. You can't cause fumbles. You can't cause interceptions. You just need to be perfect in this game. And we've been kind of inconsistent this whole season by throwing interceptions and Melvin Gordon fumbling the ball, which is not good. So we need to get better at that, and if we can improve on that, I am pretty sure we can have a good game against the Raiders and possibly win against them.
You were just talking about running back Melvin Gordon, but I have a feeling that running back Phillip Lindsay is going to have to try to be more consistent and be more explosive in the run game for this team. Can he do it?
100% he can. The reason why he wasn't as explosive in Atlanta is because the offensive line was terrible. They kept not blocking well. They kept letting the pass rushers get to him, which is not good. We need to protect our running backs and quarterbacks. Our offensive line needs to step up, and if they can step up, Phillip Lindsay will have an explosive game this time. Melvin Gordon, he's been having a decent season so far, but Phillip Lindsay, he's been having an amazing season so far. So yeah, that's the big thing, having the offensive lineman just block for Phillip Lindsay, and then he'll have an amazing game this time.
The wide receiver group is actually playing pretty well, and the rookies are getting much better. How are they going to do against the Raiders secondary?
Hopefully very good, because the Raiders secondary is decent. They have been letting wide receivers get open a lot though. But our wide receivers are very talented. Even though two of them are rookies, they are still very talented. They're playing like veterans already. And I feel like they can get open against this Raiders secondary.
Looking over at the Broncos defense, they are playing hard despite some big injuries there. Can they stop the Raiders offense?
I believe they can. Our rushing defense will sack the quarterback a few times, just like we did last year. But our secondary is meh. Our cornerbacks are not that great, even though we have AJ Bouye and Bryce Callahan. If one of them gets injured, we have some major questions in the cornerback position because none of them are that good. So we're going to have to be careful with the cornerback position. Our safeties however, are very good. So I'm not worried about that position, but our secondary is questionable. But our defensive line and defensive ends are really, really good at rushing the passer. So I don't think we'll have any problem rushing Derek Carr and throw him off. But our secondary, there are some big questions there.
So let's move on to the predictions for this game. Looking at the Raiders' offense, they are playing well. They are at home, and I know Denver's up and down. I'm just thinking that the Raiders are going to pull this one off, 31-21. What do you think?
I think we'll lose this game 24-21, but we will keep it close. Like we have with all our other games, I believe we can win, but we just have to fight hard. But for now, my prediction for this game is 24-21 with us losing. Now let's move over to the Seattle Seahawks. Last week against the Bills, QB Russell Wilson committed 4 turnovers, which proved costly in a 44-34 loss. The defense sacked QB Josh Allen 7 times, but still allowed over 400 yards passing. What is the feeling coming out of this game?
Well, the feeling is that they're getting over it pretty quickly, which is very important because that was a tough loss. But there are a lot of lessons to be learned here because 4 turnovers against a really good Bills team at home, that's just unquestionably not a good way to play this game. And you're just gift wrapping touchdown after touchdown, and that's what cost us this game. We actually should have won this game if we hadn't turned the ball over, because we got no turnovers from them, and we still scored 34 points. Russell Wilson is just going to have to not push it as hard as he has been in certain cases. 3rd and 25, he doesn't need to make that throw and make an interception happen. And then it would be nice to have a running game as well, if we can get some injuries taken care of. Chris Carson back would be great. I think we're right there. The defense on the secondary side was surprised that there was all passing from Josh Allen and the Bills offense. So I think that caught them by surprise a little bit, and we got down 14-0 right away. So the adjustments need to come faster. Russell needs to stop pressing, and I think those are the lessons we learned from this game.
It's Rams week for the Seahawks, and this game has huge implications for the NFC West. These teams don't really like each other, and defensive tackle Aaron Donald always gives QB Russell Wilson lots of problems. What can we expect from Russ and the offense in this new stadium?
Well, it's going to be an awesome time going to this new stadium. It's definitely a beautiful place, and Russell's never played there, obviously, and I'm hoping that he can take his really good offense and make good plays this weekend in the face of a lot of pressure. I know there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Russell out there, and if the wide receivers just can continue to play well, I don't see why we can't keep scoring a lot of points, even on the Rams, who have a really good defense. The thing is that Aaron Donald does cause a lot of trouble for him. He gets a lot of pressures on him. He gets a lot of hits on him. Russ has to be more aware of that, and his teammates such as Michael Brockers and company. But if he can do that, I think he can get time. And the offensive line's been playing decently well, better than the last couple years. So maybe he'll have a few seconds longer, and then I really think he can do well. I think DK Metcalf versus Jalen Ramsey is going to be a great matchup. So you'll have to be looking probably for other receivers as well and the tight ends.
The running back situation is really in flux. Who looks to start this week, and can they help Russ?
You know, Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde, they really tried to practice and get out there for this week. They did pretty good, but I just think that Coach Pete Carroll is going to take it real easy for these guys because he's going to need them for the long haul and the playoff stretch. So he's not going to risk their injuries getting re-aggravated or worse in Carson's case. So it looks like they're going to sit out this week. So it looks like street pickup Alex Collins just got on the practice squad. It's going to play along with Travis Homer, of course, and then DJ Dallas. So probably by committee, it'll be the backups. And hopefully they'll help out and know the system better. and help Russ, because he really needs the running backs to step up, because putting it all on Russell's shoulders is just not right, and he shouldn't have to do everything. And so I really think they're going to try their best, and at least Alex Collins knows the system a little bit, and that's a good thing.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are having Pro Bowl caliber seasons, but now they face Jalen Ramsey in the Rams secondary. Who wins this battle?
You know, it's going to be a really great battle. Jalen Ramsey more than likely is going to be on DK Metcalf all game or most of the game. And yeah, they definitely have a war of words along with physicality between the two. So that's going to be a battle to watch. I have noticed that Jalen does give up some plays, though, when DK gets real physical with him. So if Russ can just find those moments when DK has won a physical moment, a physical battle, and get him the ball, I really think, especially in short passage situations, he can really make some break the yak yards type of plays, yards after catch. He can run through people. He's physical when he's on a full set of steam. And so if we can just get him the ball, that'd be great. And as for the rest of the secondary, they're okay. I mean, Hill's okay. These guys are decent. But I think Tyler Lockett's going to have some really good opportunities. And I think David Moore might have a catch or two that are really big ones too.
Linebacker Bobby Wagner and safety Jamal Adams are trying to put together a strong defense. This unit needs to get better. How will they do against the Rams offense?
You know what? You're exactly right. The defense has been, at least especially the passing defense, has been atrocious. Although we have increased the pressure the last 2 weeks and gotten 10 sacks, that's encouraging. And Carlos Dunlap looks like he's revitalized. He looked great in the Buffalo game. The sack situation looks like it's starting to stabilize, but now we've got to be able to stop the screen plays and the dump-offs and stuff like that. So the corners and the safeties, including Jamal Adams, are just going to have to do more of the covering stuff, because they're allowing receivers to get too open. I blame a little bit on Ken Norton Jr. too for having the corners backed off like 10 yards from the receivers. I mean, that's ridiculous. You can give up first downs from doing that all the time. No wonder why they're losing in the passing situation. Anyways, yes, I think the defense is coming around. Just close up the corners on the receivers more, and just give a little more support with safety Quandre Diggs. And I think Jamal Adams is going to have to do a little more coverage stuff, and let the guys like Dunlap and then a blitzing Wagner or something get to the quarterback. And I don't think Jared Goff's that great of a runner, so. And when under pressure, he doesn't do that great. So I think that if we can just do this blitzing package a little bit without having so much Jamal Adams and let him help in the secondary, I think we can cause Jared Goff to have a bad game. And so I think we have a good chance on defense to turn it around. That's what I think.
Now let's move on to the predictions for this game. Looking at it, this is going to be a very competitive game. There might be a little bit of fighting, and it's going to get really competitive in this game, but I predict the Seahawks winning 27-24. What do you have?
Well, I'm looking at it as well, and this is a must-win game for both teams. This is, like you said, going to be very highly competitive, and there's going to be a lot of jaw-jacking. There's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving. It's going to be very physical, and the winner is going to be in a really good position either way. I have to go with the Seahawks because I think the offense has turned a corner this year versus how we did it last year, and the offensive line is good. I just think that the defense can rattle Jared Goff enough and stuff the run that we can win this game 28-24, and that's my prediction. Well, that'll do it for our show today. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and be sure to destroy that like button and subscribe to our channel. Turn on the notification bell for future uploads. This has been Art
and John
signing off.